Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We did have an awful lot of stakes racing activity this past weekend. In fact, so much so that we did have to do quite a bit of editing to fit this program together. Hopefully we'll be able to squeeze in as much racing as we can over the next hour. Without further ado, we are going to kick things off at Philadelphia Park, where Saturday's stakes feature was the Grade 2 Cotillion Handicap. $200,000 on offer for 3-year-old fillies going 1 1/16 miles. Let's head to Philadelphia Park for the call of the Cotillion Handicap.
And they're off. It's a very even break. On the inside now, Prize Stamp rushing up. From the outside, it's Crowd of Crimson and Gold for My Gal. Chickasaw is there in between horses. Jostle has taken back today. 4 of them across the track as they move for the first turn. The inside, it's Prize Stamp who gets the early lead. She moves clear by 1.5 lengths. Chickasaw will lay just off the pace second. 3 wide is Gold for My Gal third. To link back to Lori Darling, she's down inside fourth, and she is followed closely by Crowd of Crimson in fifth. Jostle has been eased to the outside in the 6th position. She is running about 4 lengths behind at this point, and then it's another length back to the trailer, Rochelle's Terms. The opening quarter, a very strong 22-3. They move midway up the back stretch. It's Prize Stamp. She's bounding along by 1.5 lengths. She went the opening half in 46-1. Gold for My Gal moving into the 2nd position. Lori Darling is edging closer at the inside 3rd. Crowd of Crimson begins to move 3 wide from 4th. Chickasaw falls back, and here comes Jostle now making her move. Jostle is moving quickly with 3/8 to go. They went 3/4 now as they head toward the 5/16 pole. Prize Stamp joined by Gold for My Gal, and here comes Jostle now revving up 3 wide. They come to the quarter pole, and Jostle has reached the leaders. Gold for My Gal is there in between horses. Prize Stamp at the inside, but Jostle comes off at the turn, and she'll take command. Down to the 8th pole, Jostle down by a neck. Gold for My Gal trying to stay with her. Prize Stamp did not go on, but Jostle now pulling away. Jostle by 2.5 by 3. Here she is, folks, your likely 3-year-old filly champion of the year. She'll carry the hopes of Philadelphia Park to Churchill Downs. Jostle has won it.
Jostle, considered the number 1 3-year-old filly in training right now, a couple of very impressive efforts this summer, comes back with her final prep for the Breeders' Cup Distaff in the Cotillion Handicap and wins by 4.5 easy lengths, ridden out under Mike Smith, with Gold for My Gal, who was hustled a bit wide into the first turn, holding on for the 2nd spot, and Prize Stamp, the early pace setter, weakening in the drive to finish 3rd. The winner, Jostle, is a 3-year-old Dark Beyer Brown filly bred by the Prestonwood Farm in Kentucky, a daughter of Brocco from Moon Drone by Drone. She's owned by the Fox Hill Farm Incorporated, trained by John Service, ridden to victory by Mike Smith, and completes the 1 1/16 in 1:42.2. The Meadowlands had ostensibly its biggest weekend and certainly biggest evening of the year on Saturday, with the Meadowlands Cup, the highlighted event on the evening. Grade 2 $400,000 event for 3-year-olds and up, going 1 1/8 miles. Let's head down to the Meadowlands now for the call of the Meadowlands Cup.
And they're off in the Meadowlands Cup. From between horses, there goes Lord Sterling. The big roan to the front by 1 length. On the outside, northeast bound at the rail, Where's Taylor moves up. Rizet is reined back into 4th position. Leave It to Beezer gains ground and gets good position at the first turn as they round the first turn. The battle up front. Lord Sterling on the outside. Where's Taylor at the rail. Noses apart. Just off the leaders, northeast bound is racing 3rd by 2.5 lengths. Then comes Talks Cheap, 4th on the rail by a head. Leave It to Beezer is 5th on the outside. Vision and Verse is next. Then middle of the racetrack, Dancin' Rahe, followed 2 lengths farther back by Rizet. Valhall is second last, and With Anticipation is 10th down the backstretch. A quick half of 45-2, and the battle up front has Where's Taylor and Corey Lannery moving through at the rail. That's Lord Sterling again to the front between horses. Northeast bound on the outside, 3 wide, but there goes northeast bound, and Jose Velez Jr. to the front. It's northeast bound, leading it by a 1/2 length. Lord Sterling second. Where's Taylor on the inside is racing 3rd. Then comes Talks Cheap 4th. followed by Dancin' Rahi 5th, and Val Hall is 6th. The others far back as they straighten away in the lane. 3/4 on the board in 109 and 2, and Northeast Bound set sail for home with a 3-length advantage. On the outside, Lord Sterling toward the inside. Where's Taylor? Down the stretch they come in the Meadowlands Cup, and it's Northeast Bound, the easiest kind of winner.
Miller, who did track the early pace in a stalking trip, did flatten out just a little bit in the drive, holding on for the 3rd spot here. Disappointing efforts from Bailey under Bailey and Vision and Verse. Vision and Verse from Bill Mott's operation goes in as the favorite and was badly beaten, finishing 8th out of a field of 10. The winner, Northeast Bound, is a 4-year-old dark Beyer brown gelding bred by Scott Ricker, Julian DeMarco, and Richard DeSano in Kentucky. A son of Deaccord from Northeast Answer by Far North. He is owned by his breeders, trained by Bill Perry, ridden to victory by Jose Velez Jr. Northeast Bound completes the mile in an 1/8 in 1:48 and 4. Next, we're going to be heading north of the border to Woodbine Racecourse for the Gray Breeders' Cup Stakes, run on Monday. This is a Canadian Grade 1, $250,000 for 2-year-olds. Going a mile and a 16th. Let's head up to Toronto now for the call of the Gray Breeders' Cup Stakes.
They're at the post. They're off in the Gray Breeders' Cup, and Stage Classic stumbled badly at the break. And Speed Gun has gunned right to the front, and Bailey has a hard hold of Macho Uno in the early going. Stage Classic has recovered now as they head to the 7/8 pole, and Day has angled Indigo Shiner to the inside as they run into the clubhouse turn. Ramsamy has Speed Gun removed from the rail and in front by a length and a half. Macho Uno is in 2nd position. That opening quarter, 24 and 2, a crawl as they head to the backstretch. And it's a Speed Gun by a length and 3/4. Macho Uno still under a tight rein in 2nd position. Indigo Shiner improves to the inside, 3rd. Stage Classic to Indigo Shiner's outside. They move along the backstretch. Speed Gun, 48 seconds, a dawdling half mile for Speed Gun with less than a half mile remaining. It is Speed Gun by a length and a half. Macho Uno shadows in 2nd. Indigo Shiner, Stage Classic is to the outside, less than 3 furlongs remaining. It is Speed Gun with 2.5 furlongs to the wire. Macho Uno primed to take them on as they come to the quarter pole here at Woodbine. Indigo Shiner is 3rd, Stage Classic is 4th. Macho Uno flexing his muscles now, takes over at the top of the stretch. It is Macho Uno by a length and a half. Day going to work on Indigo Shiner, but it's all Macho Uno. And Macho Uno, #1 with a bullet. He wins the Gray Breeders' Cup, and his ticket is punched for Louisville. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile, 26 muscles now, takes over at the top of the stretch. It is Macho Uno by a length and a half. Day going to work on Indigo Shiner, but it's all Macho Uno. And Macho Uno, #1 with a bullet. He wins the Gray Breeders' Cup, and his ticket is punched for Louisville. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile, 26 days away.
Two-year-old Grayer Roan colt. He is owned and bred by Stronach Stables, trained by Joe Orsino. He's the son of Holy Bull from Primal Force by Blushing Groom. Broke his maiden at Saratoga at first asking on opening day of the meeting this year. Came back with a very good effort in the hopeful in his last start. Obviously Stronach, a Canadian, does like to see his horses run north of the border. This one a very successful winner here. I would imagine next will be the Breeders' Cup Juvenile for this 2-year-old. Macho Uno completes the mile and a 16th of the Gray Breeders' Cup in 1:44 flat. Next, we're going to be heading out to Hawthorne Racecourse in the Chicago area, where we had a pair of featured events on Saturday's card. Starting things off, the Hawthorne Derby, a Grade 3 $250,000 event for 3-year-olds, going 1 1/8 miles on the turf course. We are going to pick up this race in progress. Let's head out to Hawthorne now for the call of the Hawthorne Derby.
It is him still in front with Skyscan still pressing. Him leads by a neck. Skyscan is second by a tight length. Dark Man in striking position if he's good enough. Proper Man bides his time at the rail. He's only 2 from the front. From the outside hit the hardwood. Between horses goes Rumson on the River, and now he passes several horses. 3 Wonders is in a box. He'll have to get through, and they head for home in the 36th running of the Hawthorne Derby, and him comes roaring off the top of the turn. It's him in front by 1.5 lengths. Dark Man is set down for the drive. Proper Man is at the rail. 3 Wonders is now in the clear, but he's 4 lengths behind the front running. Him, Rumson on the River, trying to spring a huge upset. It is him just in front. Rumson on the River comes through from the inside. Him is all out to hold. Him has the lead. Rumson on the River at the rail. It's these two in the Derby. Him or Rumson on the River. Him, Rumson on the River, and him has him.
The Secretariat, but here improving quite a bit, running a very solid effort. Rumson on the River, a horse that had been in New York for much of the early portion of his career, a horse that did very nicely when coming from off the pace. Here, after settling a little bit, him was the early pace setter. Rumson on the River, the horse who ran up to engage him. Lonely Place, 1 length and 3/4 back in the 3rd spot behind the Dead Heat. Rumson on the River is a 3-year-old chestnut colt bred in Florida by Live Oak Stud, a son of River Special from Coastal Connection by Coastal. His Dead Heat mate there, him, is a son of Fairy King from Handsewn by Sir Ivor, very European breeding there. Him is owned by Richard Nip and Scott Goldshire, trained by Richard Lundy. The co-winner here, Rumson on the River, is owned by Goodman, Gerald, and Pregman, trained by John Pregman. The winners were ridden by Lafitte Pinkai and Alfredo Juarez, respectively. The final time for the 1 1/8 miles on the turf course labeled firm, 1:53.3. Following the Hawthorne Derby, the Hawthorne Gold Cup, a Grade 3 $500,000 event, 1.25 miles for 3-year-olds and up. Let's head back out to Hawthorne. We are also going to join the Hawthorne Gold Cup in progress.
They run to the quarter pole in the 64th Hawthorne Gold Cup. Golden Missile gets his first challenge. It comes from Guided Tour to the outside, but Golden Missile and Kent DeSormo lead by a measured 1.25 lengths. Guided Tour is second. Blazing Sword is set down for his run. Caddy Ennison with a chance. Puerto Madero too far out of it. Guided Tour at the neck of Golden Missile, and Golden Missile has to call upon all of his class. Kent DeSormo asks him for everything he's got. Guided Tour to the outside, trying to pull a shocker at the rail. Guided Missile, here comes Dust on the Bottle as well, and Dust on the Bottle might get them both, and he has. Dust on the Bottle wins! Dust on the Bottle, and number 6, Dust on the Bottle, first. The judges will examine the photograph before posting the other numbers.
Bottle is a 5-year-old bay horse bred in Arkansas by his owner Sharon Hild, a son of Temperance Hill from Princely Proof by Princely Pleasure. He is owned by Sharon Hild, trained by husband Glenn Hild, one of the top claiming trainers out there on the Chicago circuit. Dust on the Bottle, ridden to victory by Tim Ducey, completes the 1.25 miles in the Gold Cup in 2:03 flat. Next, we're going to be heading to Keeneland, where the opening of the Keeneland fall season was on Saturday. The Fayette Breeders' Cup Handicap, a Grade 3 $250,000 event for 3-year-olds and up, going 1 1/16, kicks things off. We are going to join the Fayette Breeders' Cup Handicap in progress.
3/8 to come. Deputy Flag challenged by Get Away With It. Groundstorm is asked for more and angles wide in third, still 2 lengths off the lead. Jadada looking for an open lane and behind the front trio in fourth, and Mojave Moon is 5 lengths off the lead in fifth. Here's Groundstorm to the far outside to get the lead. Mojave Moon is kicking in from the center of the racetrack, coming to the 8th pole. Jadada still looking for room. Mojave Moon is there on the outside. Get Away With It toward the rail. And they're joined by Groundstorm and Jadada, who has to change lanes to the center of the track. Get Away With It. Mojave Moon, Jadada mows them down, and Jadada gets clear.
Half win over Mojave Moon, who was rallying late from well off the pace. Get Away With It, the tracking stalker in this field, held on for third. Groundstorm goes off as the favorite off of a couple of very impressive allowance wins in New York, and he was a little bit of a disappointment in here, beaten into the 4th spot. The winner, Jadada, is a 5-year-old dark bay or brown horse bred by Paul Van Doren and Adriana Van Doren in Kentucky. He's the son of Jade Hunter from Carita Tostada by Galansky, then a Chilean family. He's owned by Sterling Stud and the Van Dorens, trained by Mitch Sirota and ridden to victory by Shane Sellers. Jadada completes the mile in 3/16 in 1:54.4. Shadwell Turf Mile was next on the docket at Keeneland on Saturday. Grade 2 $400,000 event for 3-year-olds and up, going a flat mile on the turf course. Let's head back to Keeneland once more for the call of the Shadwell Turf Mile.
Awaiting the start of the Shadwell Keeneland Turf Mile, and they are off. And Quiet Resolve breaks alertly toward the inside and comes right out for the early lead. Pratella is going to move up on the outside of Strategic Mission. Field Cat is going to join them, but the problem, Field Cat is caught a bit wide at the entry to the first turn. Quiet Resolve gives up the lead to Pratella. Field Cat travels third on the outside, a length off the lead. Then Strategic Mission. Medieval Hero is placed 3 lengths from the front in the 5th spot, heading on to the backstretch. And then Alley's Alley, who is followed by Altiber inside of Garboo. And Super Quercus is trailing the field, some 8 lengths off the lead. The opening quarter went in 23-1. Pratella leading Field Cat by a length now, heading for the far turn. Quiet Resolve is next on the inside of Strategic Mission. Medieval Hero is still 4 lengths off the lead in the 5th position, and is followed then by Altiber, who has a ground-saving trip to the inside of Alley's Alley. Garboo is still 6 lengths off the lead, and Super Quercus is still last, but moving up toward the rail, 7 lengths from the front, just over a quarter mile remaining. They got the half in 46-1. Pratella leading Quiet Resolve and Strategic Mission off the far turn. Strategic Mission has clear running. Super Quercus is still buried well back toward the rail, and now Strategic Mission gets the lead, but here comes Altiber on the outside. Alley's Alley, Quiet Resolve, Pratella toward the rail. Altiber is charging up to the outside of Strategic Mission. These two to the line. Altiber takes the Shadwell Keeneland Turf Mile.
The early going, made a bit of a move into the drive, but did not have enough left in the late going here. Altiber, who early in his career did win the 1999 Dubai Duty Free over in Dubai, had a couple of problems this year. Unfortunately, run into Hap a couple of times, was second to that rival in the 4-star. Dave didn't care for the soft turf course of the Belmont Breeders' Cup Handicap, in which he finished third. Certainly seemed to get a much better trip here. The winner is a 5-year-old chestnut horse bred by Indian Creek Shug McGahee and Hint at Love Partnership. He's a son of Dionysus from Love's Reward by Nunawalco, owned by Shadwell Stable, trained by Kieran McLaughlin. Altiber completes the 1 mile on the turf course in a new course record, 1:33.3. We are going to pause now for a brief break, and when we return, we'll be taking a look at further stakes action from Keeneland, as well as stakes racing action from Oak Tree at Santa Anita. Please stay tuned.
I'm Jamie from Yonkers, and I hit $10,000 playing bingo from the New York Lottery.
I bought this toaster, and I bought this blender. Also bought this exercise machine.
Actually, I make strawberry banana shakes. Strawberries, bananas, orange juice. I bought many pairs of shoes, 13 in fact. I make fruit tarts and waffles. Most of these are summer shoes. And I got new brakes and new shocks. All this thanks to bingo.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. We are going to continue with Keeneland's opening weekend stakes racing action with Sunday's Lanes End Breeders' Futurity, a Grade 2 $400,000 event for 2-year-olds going a mile in the 16th. Let's head back to Keeneland now for the call of the Lanes End Breeders' Futurity.
And they're off. Awkward beginning for Spectacular Cat, who now straightens course. And there goes Meet You at the Brig up to take the early lead. Holiday Thunder is right there toward the inside. And Unbridled Time being sent from the far outside to challenge as well, along with Starberry, who comes out running in fourth, heading on to the first turn. Meet You at the Brig comes out of a 3-way shuffle for the lead by a length. Unbridled Time goes second outside of Holiday Thunder, Starberry, then Burning Roma, who's placed toward the inside of horses, just 4.5 lengths off the lead. Mongoose will flank him at the entry to the backstretch. Then Spectacular Cat. Arabian Light is near the back of the field in the early going, some 8 lengths off the lead, followed by Clever Thorn, and Dollar Bill is the trailer. The opening quarter went in 22 4/5 seconds. Unbridled Time is on the outside of Meet You at the Brig, and these two continue to contest the pace heading onto the far turn. Holiday Thunder is next inside of Starberry, and Spectacular Cat is trying to find an opening down toward the inside. Now up within 2 lengths of the leaders, but still in 5th position. And here comes Arabian Light with a tremendous move on the far outside through a half in 46 1. Arabian Light goes 4 wide around the far turn from 5th to 3rd, now to grab the lead away from Unbridled Time. Starberry is 3rd, just over an 1/8 of a mile to come. Mongoose is trying to start a run, but is still mired in the 4th position, along with the stablemate, Dollar Bill, who's 5 wide at the head of the stretch. And Arabian Light enters the final furlong on a widening 5-length lead to Dollar Bill, then Burning Roma, who's now 3rd in the center of the racetrack. But Arabian Light makes a shambles of the field to take the Grade 2 Lanes End Breeders' Futurity.
Against the bias coming from well off the pace, generally speaking, Keeneland is a racetrack that favors inside speed. Arabian Light coming out of the Delmar Futurity, in which he finished 3rd in a very good effort that day, had been working very nicely in Kentucky for his next effort here. Gets a 3-length win after being ridden out, drawing 5 wide by Shane Sellers. Dollar Bill rallying from well off the pace. He was a 6 wide going into the stretch. He obviously used a little too much getting there. Holiday Thunder, who was last out, was a very good 2nd place finisher behind Point Given. Rallies into the 3rd, holds on for the 3rd spot after making a bit of a middle move, was unable to sustain it and hold off the top 2 finishers. Burning Roma, who recently won the Futurity on the DQ of City Zip, was one of the horses involved in the bumping at the beginning of the race, didn't have a whole lot of room, was stuck in traffic for part of the going, and ends up in the 3rd spot, or the 4th spot rather. The winner, Arabian Light, is a 2-year-old chestnut colt bred in California by Kenneth Reinsch. He is a son of Fly So Free from Heartlight by Majestic Light, owned by the Thoroughbred Corporation, trained by Bob Baffert, ridden to victory by who else? Shane Sellers had a great weekend at Keeneland this weekend. Arabian Light completes the mile in a 16th in 1:43 flat. Next, we're going to be heading back to Keeneland for the Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup Stakes, a Grade 1 for 3-year-old fillies, going 1 1/8 on the turf course. The purse is $500,000. Let's head back to Keeneland for the QE2 Challenge Cup.
And they're off. A poor beginning for Theoretically. Not the case, however, for Gaviola, who bounds right out for the early lead toward the inside. Collect the Cash is going to come forward, not necessarily to pressure the leader, but to be forwardly placed in the second spot as Elderberry moves up in third. Mauricien sneaks through an opening toward the inside from the fourth position, now takes over the third spot heading into the first turn. Theoretically is going to pick up a few positions in the order at the entry to the turn now, going from last up the rail into the fifth spot as they work over toward the back stretch. The opening quarter went in 24 seconds, and Gaviola shows the way by a length over Collect the Cash. Mauricien has settled into the third spot as they hit the back stretch now. Elderberry is on the outside, keeping Theoretically pinned down. Uncharted Haven is on the outside of horses, some 5 lengths off the lead. She's got Blue Moon to her inside, and they are followed closely by Princess Ellen, who's had a ground-saving trip. And finally, it is Zoftig who trails through a half in 47 3/5 seconds. Gaviola has the lead by 1.5 lengths going on to the far turn. Collect the Cash is second by 3/4 of a length. Mauricien goes third by less than a length. Elderberry is still toward the outside in fourth. Theoretically looks for some running room now and finds an opening between horses, still 2.5 lengths off the lead. A 1/4 mile to come. Uncharted Haven is still far back, and Gaviola bounds into the stretch, chased by Collect the Cash on the outside. Theoretically is third, moving into the final furlong of the Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup. Collect the Cash challenging Gaviola, Theoretically, and then Blue Moon on the outside. Now Collect the Cash strides forward for the lead. Theoretically has run a huge race. Blue Moon continues to charge on late. Collect the Cash hangs on to win the race.
By valid appeal. Earlier this year, she won the Rockingham Park Oaks. This is her 4th consecutive win off of that effort. She won 2 allowance races, moves into Grade 1 company with a very impressive win at long odds. Trainer Joe Orsino has Shane Sellers named to ride here. A very impressive weekend for Shane down at Keeneland. The winner, Collect the Cash, completes the 1 1/8 on the turf course in 1:47 4/5. We're going to be heading out to Santa Anita next, where at Santa Anita they opened their season for the Oak Tree at Santa Anita meeting, a very short but select group of races there. Obviously a lot of graded stakes races leading into Breeders' Cup weekend down at Kentucky this year. Starting things off this weekend, the Norfolk Stakes, Grade 2, $200,000 event for 2-year-olds, going 1 mile. Let's head out to Santa Anita now for the call of the Norfolk Stakes.
All set for the Norfolk Stakes. And away they go. All appear to come out well. Mr. Freckles sent for the early lead. Street Cry in the white cap on the outside. And now there goes Flamethrower. And Flamethrower down at the rail. Going to go all the way through to lead them. Not in a big hurry early on. Reveling in the white cap is getting up to race in the third spot. Been followed by Leering at Cathy, who's back 4th last. Then comes Sudden Glory, Mo Mon, and Dubai Breeze is content to drop far back. He trails by 7. Mo Mon just taking up at the back of the pack here. They've run past the 3/4 pole, and Flamethrower is the leader. Mr. Freckles comes to put the pressure on in second. Street Cry in the white capper close up third, and Sudden Glory on the outside of him. Reveling is in the fifth spot, only 3 lengths off the leaders. Then we have Leering at Cathy. Momon doesn't want to settle today, is still at the back of this leading group. Momon about 6 off that leader, and then a big gap of 8 back to Dubai Breeze. Less than a half mile to go in the Norfolk, and Flamethrower goes on for home. Mr. Freckles is in second. Street Cry has now taken the third spot. Then Reveling. Sudden Glory having to be sent along but has to pick it up. Then Leering at Cathy. In behind that, Momon and Dubai Breeze is last. They come to the quarter pole in the Norfolk. Flamethrower at the rail. Mr. Freckles running a huge one, trying to cling to him. And now here comes Street Cry. And Street Cry on the grandstand side extends his lead now as he comes flying up alongside a Flamethrower. Street Cry and Flamethrower. It's a repeat of the Delmar Futurity. Flamethrower all hot at the rail. He's not going to let Street Cry get by. Flamethrower, Street Cry. Flamethrower a neck to Street Cry. Then came Mr. Freckles. Behind him was the
holding off the late run of Street Cry. Mr. Freckles, the early pace presser, he ran the early portion of the race stalking Flamethrower, holds on for the third spot here. Flamethrower, very game in his last couple of efforts, is now 4 for 4. Another Bob Baffert 2-year-old who looks to have a big future in front of him. He is a 2-year-old chestnut colt bred in Florida by Suzanne Collins, a son of red-hot young stallion St. Bellado out of Metro, Maine by Metro Ground. He's owned by Gary Garber, trained, as I mentioned, by Bob Baffert, ridden to victory by Victor Espinosa. Flamethrower completes the 1 mile at Santa Anita in a very quick 1:34 and 4/5 seconds. Next, we're going to be heading back out to Santa Anita for the Grade 1 Yellow Ribbon Stakes. This is a $500,000 Grade 1 for 3-year-olds and up fillies and mares going 1.25 miles on the turf course. We are going to now join the Yellow Ribbon Stakes in progress.
It's a compact field that goes into the far turn with Tranquility Lake still in front. Alexine now coming to put the pressure on, then Spanish Fern and Polaire Minor. Cafe Latte has now dropped back last. They come into the top of the lane, and Tranquility Lake still not been asked to run. She leads by a length to Alexine. Spanish Fern on the outside, Polaire at the rail, and then Minor. They homeward bound in the Yellow Ribbon, and Eddie Delahousse just gives Tranquility Lake a tap on the shoulder. She goes on, but Spanish Fern is coming with a big run on the outside. Tranquility Lake, Spanish Fern, these two running for the wire together. Polaire a close third, and then Minor, but Tranquility Lake's too good, and Tranquility Lake takes the
for place and show positions.
Enough left to go up and get Tranquility Lake. She holds on to a length advantage under the wire, with Spanish Fern making a bit of a move into the second spot. Polaire, who was up close fairly well early, saved some ground, got a stalking trip, and holding on here, just holding on to third from the late moving Mina. The winner, Tranquility Lake, is a 5-year-old bay mare bred by North Central Bloodstock in Kentucky, a daughter of Rahi from Winter's Love by Danzig. Had some time off earlier this year. Last time she was supposed to go in the Ramona. She missed the Ramona because of a spider bite that caused some sort of an infection to form in her leg. She is obviously back in her best form now for Julio Canani. They are still deciding as to whether or not they will head to the Breeders' Cup. It looks like the Breeders' Cup filly or mare turf is going to be their goal, and it has been announced that it is likely that Tranquility Lake will be retired to the breeding shed following that effort. Tranquility Lake is owned by Mr. and Mrs. Marty Wygod, trained by Julio Canani, ridden to victory by Eddie Delahousse, and completes the 1.25 miles on the turf course labeled Firm in 2:02 and 4/5 seconds. We're going to continue with stakes racing action from the West Coast now with the Clement L. Hirsch Memorial Turf Championship. This race used to be known as the Oak Tree Turf Championship. It's a $300,000 Grade 1 for 3-year-olds and up, going 1.25 miles. Let's head back to Santa Anita for the Clement L. Hirsch Memorial Turf Championship.
All set. Field for the Clement Hirsch sent on their way. On the outside, it's Asadero, very quick into stride and takes the early lead. Alvo Certo in the gold colours is right there, and Mash 1 in the black colours down at the rail. Self Feeder's taken back into the 4th spot, then Prairieton and Boatman in the pink cap at the back. Into the stretch first time round, and the favourite Asadero out where he likes to be, leading the way, has it by just over a length. Mash 1 tucked in second, and Alvo Certo third. Then comes Self Feeder. Boatman and Prairieton content to trail early. 8 lengths would cover them all. They come past the stands first time round, and Asadero taking a hold of the bit, but nice and relaxed out here. He's taken them along by 2.5 lengths. In second is Mash 1, been followed by Alvo Certo. Self Feeder is 6 lengths off the leaders. Then comes Boatman and Prairieton on the outside of him. 3/4 mile left to go, and Asadero in full control out here. Has a nice hold, but not fighting against the rider, and his ears just pricked out here. He's really enjoying himself as Asadero. He takes them along 2.5, 3 lengths in front. Mash 1 is second, and Alvo Certo's in third. Self Feeder's in the 4th position, 6 lengths off the leaders. Then Prairieton and Boatman now starting to improve from last. No change in the Clement L. Hirsch field as they run to the half-mile pole. It's still Alex Solis and Asadero dictating the pace. They have it just over a length to Mash 1. In third is Alvo Certo, then Prairieton, Self Feeder. Boatman still going well down at the rail. Going to need some racing room though. He's 4 lengths off the leaders. 3/8 mile to go, and Asadero now getting pressure from Mash 1. Here comes Boatman with a nice run, and Boatman in the pink cap. Can he find somewhere to run? Boatman's full of run. Can he get out of there though? Nowhere to go right now. Heads a turn for home, and it's Asadero in front by a length. Boatman still looking for somewhere to run. Mash 1 running a huge one on the outside, and now Mash 1 comes to get the lead from Asadero. Boatman's got off the rail, but he's not quickening, and Mash 1 is coming home to take the Clement L. Hirsch. Mash 1 wins convincingly. Boatman has to settle for second. Second, number 4, Boatman. Third, number 6, Asadero. And fourth, number 3, Self Feeder.
And goes past that one after that one began to weaken a little bit, made a nice move too wide, and held on strongly under a vigorous hand ride from David Flores. Boatman was rallying well into the 2nd spot here. Asadero holds on for the show. The winner, Mash 1, is a chestnut horse. He was foaled in 1994, but born on Southern Hemisphere time, as he is Chilean bred. He was born on September 14th. That's my husband's birthday. Son of Mash Core from Exing by Exceller, is owned by Ammerman and Palumbo. Trained by Bobby Frankel, ridden to victory by David Flores, completes the 1.25 miles on the turf course labeled Firm in 2 minutes and 3/5 seconds. Stakes racing action continued on Sunday at Santa Anita with the Oakleaf Stakes Grade 1 $200,000 event for 2-year-old fillies going a flat mile. Let's head back to Santa Anita for the call of the Oakleaf.
Down, away they go. All came out in a straight line. Cindy's Hero from the inside gate broke well, but doesn't want to go for the lead. In fact, they're all lining up here. Notable Career, C Real, Dubai Visit, Midnight Fandango has no alternative but to go 4 wide into the turn. Meanwhile, Pristine is down at the rail, only a length and a half off the leaders. The pace is fast early. Then we come back to Euro Empire, and now Cindy's Hero, who broke well, has dropped back last, but only 6 lengths off the leaders. Past the 3/4 pole they go, and Notable Career going along a fast pace up front. C Real right there in second, and Dubai Visit on the outside. Pristine is nice and comfortable in the 4th spot, just a length and 3/4 off the leader. Here's Euro Empire 5th. She has 4 lengths to make up. Then Midnight Fandango, and Cindy's Hero is last. Cindy's Hero has 10 lengths to make up with a 1/2 mile to run. Into the turn they go in the Oakleaf Stakes, and it's still Notable Career, now clear just over a length. Pristine is coming through to get second. Sea Real on the outside. Euro Empire is fourth, 4 lengths off the leaders. Dubai Visit can find no more. Now Cindy's Hero is winding up, and Cindy's Hero starting to make good progress. Cindy's Hero coming fast in the red colours, although still 8 lengths back. They get to the top of the lane, and it's Notable Career, the one to catch. Cindy's Hero on the grandstand side. Between horses, Euro Empire's in with a shot. Pristine not going on. It's Notable Career digging deep and finding more. Euro Empire, Cindy's Hero third, but not going to catch Notable Career. And Notable Career, the daughter of Avenue of Flags, coming home on her own in the Oakleaf. Notable Career and David Flores. Euro Empire second, Cindy's Hero third. Then
indicated that this filly would look a lot better on the stretch out. She gets to the lead early, holds on very nicely after setting quick early fractions. Euro Empire rallies wide into the stretch with Cindy's Hero, the recent winner of the Del Mar Debutante. In fact, the horse that beat Notable Career last time out, getting up for the third spot. She did have a little bit of trouble early, unhurried inside horses, making a 4-wide move into the drive. The winner, Notable Career, is a 2-year-old dark bay or brown filly bred by Mr. and Mrs. John Mabey in Kentucky, a daughter of Avenue of Flags from Excellent Lady by Smartin. She is owned by the Golden Eagle farm of her breeders, the Mabeys, trained by Bob Baffert, ridden to victory by David Flores, who swept the 2 stakes on the card on Sunday. Oakleaf Stakes winner, Notable Career, completes the 1 mile in 1:36.1. Finishing up with stakes racing action from Santa Anita was the Ladies Secret Breeders' Cup Handicap, a grade 2 for 3-year-olds and up fillies and mares going 1 mile and a 16th, this time on the main track. Let's head back out to Santa Anita once more for the Ladies Secret Breeders' Cup Handicap.
Oh, where to go? Saudi Poetry from the inside gate out quickly, and Aristasa from the outside gate. She's going to now take the lead. Smooth Player settles down third, and speaking of time is fourth. Then back to Bordelais and Kumari Continent. They 5 off this leader. They run past the 7/8s, and Aristasa sets the pace. It's a good one, too. Aristasa goes clear 1.5 lengths. Saudi Poetry right there second, and Smooth Player comfortable in third. Kumari Continent scrapes the paint in fourth, 4 lengths off these leaders. On the outside of that, speaking of time, and Bordelais is last, 7 lengths off the leader. They swing onto the backstretch, and Aristasa, nice and relaxed out here, just takes them along 1.5 lengths to Saudi Poetry. Smooth Players right there in third. Then we come back to speaking of time, fourth, only 3.5 off the leaders. Kumari Continent is down at the rail, and Bordelais continues to trail. No change in this order. They have a half-mile left to go, and Aristasa still the leader. Saudi Poetry now breathing down her neck in second. Smooth Player is right there third. Then speaking of time, Kumari Continent making hard work of it today. She's been pushed along but not responding. Bordelais is still last, 8 off the leader. They come to the quarter pole, and Saudi Poetry up to take on Aristasa. Smooth Players in with a good shot in third. Then speaking of time, Bordelais trying to get involved but far back. At the top of the lane, and Aristasa tries to battle on. Saudi Poetry's up alongside Smooth Players. Speaking of time, and with a shot fourth, and even Bordelais getting involved late. They come for home, and Smooth Player takes the lead. Smooth Player now starting to pull clear from Aristasa, and speaking of time, and Smooth Player and Eddie Dalahousie take the Ladies Secret. Smooth Player clear in the end. Speaking of time.
The winner, Smooth Player, is a 4-year-old dark bay or brown filly. She was bred in California by Marty Wygott and John Spoler. She is owned by her breeders, trained by Dan Hendricks, ridden to victory by Eddie Delahousse. We had a lot of situations with jockeys sweeping several stakes races on the card throughout this weekend. The mile and the 16th of the Ladies Secret Breeders' Cup Handicap is completed by Smooth Flyer in 1 minute 42 and 1. We are going to pause once more for another brief break, and when we return, we've got stakes racing action to bring to you from Belmont Park. Please stay tuned.
Beautiful Belmont Park wraps up the Fall Championship meet with the New York Showcase Fall Festival, Saturday and Sunday, October 21st and 22nd. An entire weekend filled with fun and excitement for children of all ages. We'll showcase some of New York State's finest products, including, of course, the thoroughbreds, racing for over $1 million in purses. But that's not all, not by a long shot. A vendor's row featuring produce, wine, flowers, and many more displays highlighting New York's rich agricultural heritage. There's free grandstand admission on Sunday as part of Belmont's Fan Appreciation Day. Plus, we've got prize giveaways all weekend long, including Broadway show tickets. One lucky fan will even take home a horse by winning part ownership of a New York-bred 2-year-old and sharing in the winnings for the rest of its racing career. Great racing, great family fun, great prizes, and great products from the Empire State. All part of New York Showcase Fall Festival, Saturday and Sunday, October 21st and 22nd at beautiful Belmont Park.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. To finish off the program, we're going to head to Belmont Park, where last Wednesday they ran a midweek special stake, the Joseph A. Gimma, for New York-bred 2-year-old fillies. The purse is $75,000. The distance is 7 furlongs. Let's head to Belmont now for the call of the Joseph A. Gimma Stakes.
And they're off. Love on Hold comes out from the inside. Spavanaugh there. Love on Hold short lead. Spavanaugh on the outside. Second, Coney Island Girl is third. And there goes Cherokee Rocket now up in the third on the outside. Aura Between Horses fourth. Technolas is racing fifth. Premier Rose comes on through while in between horses. Then farthest off the rail, it's Enna. Down toward the inside, Coney Island Girl. The trailer is Tallulah Dallin. The leader is Love on Hold. Opening quarter, 22 seconds flat. Love on Hold. Sharp opening quarter mile there. Spavanaugh has been close to that quick pace. And it's 2 lengths back. Coney Island Girl is third by a head. On the outside, Premier Rose is fourth. Aura getting within 4.5 lengths of the lead. She's fifth. And Technolas is launching a bid with less than 3 furlongs to go. And Tallulah Darling is coming alive as the field comes to the top of the stretch. The half in 45 2/5 seconds. Hard fractions here for the leader, Love on Hold. And here comes Spavanaugh. Spavanaugh has taken over at the top of the stretch. Spavanaugh now in front, leaving Love on Hold behind, second by 4. Technolas is third. Premier Rose is fourth. And Tallulah Darling fifth on the outside. Aura sixth into the final 16th. And Spavanaugh's pulling away. And it's going to be Spavanaugh coming under the line to win it. A clear-cut decision here. Love on Hold second by a long margin. Here's a photo for show. And it's too close to call for the third spot between Technolas and Premier Rose. Number 1, Love on Hold second. Photo for third.
K. Brown in Bethlehem Stable, a daughter of Alan's Prospect from Verbal Folly by Osei. She is now 2 for 2 for owners Dwight and Perry Sutherland and trainer Jeff Jacobs. Spavanaugh under Edgar Prado completes the 7 furlongs of the Joseph A. Gimma in 1:25 flat. Next, we're going to head into stakes racing action on the weekend at Belmont with the Gallant Bloom Handicap, a grade $300,000 event for 3-year-olds and up fillies and mares sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the main track. Let's head down to Belmont now for the call of the Gallant Bloom.
And they're off. Cottage Garden gets off to a good start. Dream Supreme was away in good order as well. And Tropical Punch is there with Saoirse on the far outside. Finder's Fee to be the early trailer. Down the backstretch, it's Dream Supreme, the leader. Plenty of company, though, with Tropical Punch and Saoirse on the outside. Those three have now opened up a half a dozen lengths on Cottage Garden, and another 4 or 5 to late running Finder's Fee. Finder's Fee now about 15 lengths from the lead. around the far turn, and they drilled that first quarter in 22 1/5 seconds. Dream Supreme. Tropical Punch puts ahead in front of Dream Supreme. Saoirse continues to keep pace with them, and now it's 8 lengths back to Finder's Fee, who's hitting her best stride as the field approaches the top of the stretch, the half in 44 4. Saoirse, Tropical Punch, and Dream Supreme. Dream Supreme down on the inside holds the lead. It's Dream Supreme in front. Tropical Punch is full out. Finder's Fee continues to close, and Finder's Fee is coming like a rocket on the outside with classy Dream Supreme to catch. Dream Supreme the leader by a length and a half. Finder's Fee continues, but it's going to be Dream Supreme. Good looking victory today. The winner by 2 lengths over Finder's Fee. Number 1, Dream Supreme was first. Number 6, Finder's Fee was second. Number 3, Tropical Punch third. And number 4, Saoirse was fourth. Results not official.
In the 2-length advantage over Finder's Fee. Finder's Fee, as usual, was outrun early, making her patented late kick. Tropical Punch, who went out and took a little bit of a challenge at Dream Supreme, ends up holding on for the 3rd spot. The winner, Dream Supreme, has now won 3 consecutive stakes in her last 3 starts. She is, in fact, going to be likely going to be pointed by Bill Mott and the Kinsman stable for the Breeders' Cup Sprint against males. Dream Supreme is a 3-year-old dark bay or brown filly. She was bred by her owner, the Kinsman Farm, in Kentucky, a daughter of Seeking the Gold from Spinning Round by Dixieland Band. Kinsman Stable still owns her. Of course, that is the operation of George Steinbrenner, trained by Bill Mott, ridden to victory by Pat Day. Gallant Bloom Handicap winner, Dream Supreme, completes the 6.5 furlongs in 1:15 and 4. Coming up next on the card at Belmont, the Flower Bowl Invitational Handicap, $750,000 for 3-year-olds and up. Fillies and mares going 1.25 miles on the turf course. Let's head back down to Belmont now for the call of the Flower Bowl Invitational.
And they're off. Snow Polina off to an alert beginning. Lizzie Rose is coming up on the outside. And in between them, it's Happy and You Know It as they make their way toward the clubhouse turn. It's Lizzie Rose who takes the initiative here as Snow Polina concedes the early lead to her. Then it's Happy and You Know It, running well off the rail in 3rd position, followed by Coal Star, and Pico Tenerife will be the early trailer as Lizzie Rose takes the field through an opening quarter in 24 seconds flat. A sensible opening quarter mile here for the front runner, Lizzie Rose, as Snow Polina sits comfortably in behind second. On the outside, Happy and You Know It in the clear racing 3rd, Coal Star Unhurried, and Pico Tenerife. They begin their run down the backstretch here. The first quarter went in 24 seconds flat, and the pace has moderated. The second quarter went in 25 and 4. Perhaps sensing the slow pace now, Bailey guides Snow Polina right up alongside Lizzie Rose. Happy and You Know It continues to track intently with less than 5 furlongs to go now. Still at the back of the pack are Coal Star and Pico Tenerife as the field races for the far turn. It is Snow Polina in front by a head as the field hits the far turn. Snow Polina in front now, beginning to get away from Lizzie Rose. Happy and You Know It is called on for her run now, and she's moved into second. Pico Tenerife now advancing on the outside as the field approaches the top of the stretch. Snow Polina is clear by 2.5 lengths. Happy and You Know It has been in a drive, but is now 3 lengths behind. Pico Tenerife takes to the outside, then Lizzie Rose and Coal Star. At the top of the stretch, it is Snow Polina, and she's pulling away by 5. Here comes Coal Star. Coal Star is a late threat. Nothing left for Happy and You Know It. It is Snow Polina still there. A dwindling lead as Coal Star's coming hard on the outside. Snow Polina a neck. Coal Star, a final surge to win. Coal Star is the upset winner.
Samin persevering here, picking up his 4th Flower Bowl Invitational of his career, beating Snow Polina and Jerry Bailey as Pico Tenerife begins a move from way off the pace. She was trailing the field in the early going. She began a move rather early, and Georgie Chavez hustled her up into the third spot as the favorite, even money favorite, Happy and You Know It, drops back into fourth. Lizzie Rose, the early pace setter, completes the field. The winner, Coal Star, is a 4-year-old bay filly. She was bred in Kentucky by her owner, Beverly R. Steinman. She is trained by Paul Fout and was ridden to victory, as I mentioned, by Jean-Luc Samine. This daughter of Opening Verse from Ascend by Risen Star apparently is not nominated to the Breeders' Cup. Has not been decided whether or not they will put up the money to pick up entry in the Breeders' Cup filly or mare turf. Coal Star completes the 1.25 miles on the firm Belmont turf course in 2:01 3/5 seconds. Following the Breeders' Cup, or following the Flower Bowl, the Turf Classic, another Grade 1 $750,000 event. 3-year-olds and up going 1.5 miles over the turf course at Belmont Park. Let's head back to Belmont now for the call of the Grade 1 Turf Classic.
And they're off. Val's Prince and John's Call break together with Ella Athena in between them. Fantastic Light is reined in to run down toward the inside in the early going. Timberoa taken under a very hard hold there, tossed his head about, and on the far outside, Craig Steele is up with the leaders now. As they make their way toward the clubhouse turn, it is John's Call to be the leader. Val's Prince is running second. Craig Steele placed just outside the lead third. Ella Athena is down on the inside, running along in fourth position. Commander Collins not far off the pace. He's fifth on the outside. Fantastic Light is racing sixth. Timberoa a bit more settled now in seventh. Chimes at Midnight is 3 wide in 8th position. Drama Critic in a bit of traffic down toward the inside, running in 10th. And then it's Gritty Sandy, and at the back of the pack are Subtle Power and Northern Quest as John's Call takes the field through the opening quarter in 24 3/5 seconds and a half in 50 2/5 seconds. So it's a comfortable pace for John's Call on the lead. Now it leads by 2. Val's Prince is running second. Craig Steele is down toward the inside now, well in hand, running along in third. Commander Collins is 4 lengths off the lead, racing in 4th position. And then the filly, Ella Athena, continues to run on the inside of Chimes at Midnight, who's running in 6th position, followed by Fantastic Light. And there is some room for Fantastic Light on the inside, should Dettori choose to go through on there. And then it's Timberoa, followed by Gritty Sandy. Northern Quest is beginning to pick it up from the back of the pack. Drama Critic and Subtle Power. In the meantime, John's Call has built a 4-length lead with 5 furlongs to go. He's run 3/4 in 1:15 3. John's Call still in control, and he's continuing to run on strongly. A 3-length lead. Val's Prince is called on for run. Commander Collins is now running in 3rd. Craig Steele is 4th toward the inside. Fantastic Light is now running 5th, about 6 lengths from the lead. Northern Quest to his outside. Then it's Drama Critic. Ella Athena is coming under a ride now. Then it's Timberoa, followed by Subtle Power, then Gritty Sandy. Chimes at Midnight has trailed the field. And John's Call is threatening to go all the way on the lead. Samine has just stolen a peak pack to see a 3-length advantage as the field turns for home. Craig Steele has to quicken up, still 3 lengths behind as they come to the 8th pole. Val's Prince is driving hard, working hard in 3rd. And it's Fantastic Light who's 4th on the outside with too much to do. It is all John's Call. John's Call, the leader by 2.5. Craig Steele is coming hard. It is John's Call. Here comes Craig Steele with the final surge. John's Call is saved by the wire, and a big day for Jean-Luc Samine. Number 4, John's Call, was first. Number 11, Craig Steele.
Better at that time, or had a little bit of traffic trouble in some of his races earlier this year. Holds on for the 2nd spot with Ella Athena, the filly, European bred filly, making only her 2nd American start for her connections, getting into the 3rd spot here. She did have a little bit of trouble having to change paths in the drive under Joe Bravo. Fantastic Light, the favorite under Frankie Dettori, was rated inside horses, but often, a couple of times, found himself without anywhere to go. There was not enough pace, apparently, for his early or for his late charge as Jean-Luc Semien throttled back John's Call, as we saw Eddie Delahousse do with Tranquility Lake on Saturday as well. John's Call, a 9-year-old chestnut gelding, along with John Henry, the oldest winner of this race. He is a Kentucky bred. He was bred by Winborn Farm, a son of Lord at War, from Calling Guest by Be My Guest. He's owned by the Trillium Stable, trained by Tommy Voss, ridden to victory, as I mentioned, by Jean-Luc Semien, another major Grade 1 winner on the weekend who is not Breeders' Cup nominated. It has not yet been decided whether this one is going to go to Kentucky. John's Call completes the 1.5 miles on the turf course at Belmont in 2:28 and 2. Stakes racing action continued at Belmont Park on Sunday with the Grade 2 Kelso Handicap, Grade 2 for $250,000, going a mile on the turf course. Let's head down to Belmont now for the Kelso Handicap.
And they're off. Johnny Dollar, Delay of Game, and a firm success. It's Johnny Dollar to be the early leader. Delay of Game second on the outside, a firm success, and Chavez keeping after him right from the beginning. Forbidden Apple comes on through now, and Forbidden Apple is now right up there with the leaders, 4 across the track, and a firm success now moving decisively to grab the lead. A firm success in front, Forbidden Apple second. Johnny Dollar on the inside third. Delay of Game is fourth. Leave Us Leap is fifth. Hap is steadied in traffic. Hap had to check right there in the thick of it, followed by Al Rassam and Gone Fishing, who's 5 wide down the backstretch. 1-1-1 is the last of them all. A 23-3 first quarter. Affirmed success. The leader as they race into the far turn. Forbidden Apple keeps the pressure up second. Delay of Game third. Johnny Dollar just in behind the lead. He's now running in fourth. Al Rassam continues a wide journey fifth. Leave Us Leap is sixth. Hap is still right there in the midst of traffic. He's running seventh, about 5 lengths from the lead. Then 1-1-1 and Gone Fishing. A firm success is 1.5 and 46 and 4. Forbidden Apple is still right with him. Delay of Game is there on the far outside. He's running in third. Johnny Dollar is fourth. Hap has running room now, and he's got it to the outside. As the field comes off the turn, it is a firm success, and he's under heavy pressure to hold the lead. A firm success still holding on by a half a length. Forbidden Apple right there with him. Then Johnny Dollar running third. 1-1-1 putting in a late run toward the inside, and Hap is fifth. 100 yards to go. Forbidden Apple a firm success. Nip and tuck down to the line. Johnny Dollar joins them. Here's the wire. Forbidden Apple. Forbidden Apple has won it now.
As Johnny Dollar, who popped out of the gate on top, was taken back by Chucky Lopez, makes another run and just falls short of the place spot and has to settle for third. 1-1-1 down on the inside there, is able to make up some ground and finish fourth. Disappointing effort from the heavy favorite Hap, recent winner of a couple of stakes races up at Saratoga under Jerry Bailey. Had a little bit of traffic trouble, was in tight on the backstretch, but when he found clear running room at the top of the stretch, he was unable to mount any form of a rally. The winner, Forbidden Apple, is a 5-year-old dark bay or brown horse bred by his owner, Arthur Appleton, in Florida. He's a son of Pleasant Colony from north of Eden by Northfields, certainly giving him a very solid pedigree for turf. He is from the same dam that produced, amongst others, Wild Event and Paradise Creek. He is owned by breeder Arthur Appleton, trained by Christophe Clement, ridden to victory by who else? Jean-Luc Semien. Kelso Handicap winner Forbidden Apple completes the 1 mile in a very brisk 1:34 and 1. Stakes racing action concluded for the weekend with Monday's Pebbles Handicap. Grade 3 for 3-year-old fillies going for $75,000, a mile and 1/8 on the inner turf course. Let's head down to Belmont now for the call of the Pebbles Handicap.
And they're off. You'll Be Happy and Life's an E-Ticket, and a firm lane comes through on the inside as they race into the clubhouse turn. Wide into the turn was Captive Audience. Efficient Frontier also hung out there. Around the first turn and up top, the leader is You'll Be Happy, who steps away by 1.5 lengths. A firm lane sits back to concede the lead to front running You'll Be Happy. Alluring is racing in third, followed by Life's an E-Ticket, fourth on the inside. Captive Audience rating comfortably in fifth. Tippity Witch, sixth toward the inside. Efficient Frontier, a headstrong and moving up on the outside from seventh. Kiwi is eighth. Lady Dora is ninth. Starlight Girl is 10th. And R trails the field, and she's about a dozen lengths from the leader. The leader remains You'll Be Happy, whose first quarter was in 23 3/5 seconds. She's out there by 2. A Firm Lane still sitting back in second. Alluring is third. Efficient Frontier, despite the restraint of Joe Bravo, has pulled her way up to be fourth on the outside. Life's an E-Ticket continues down inside fifth. Captive Audience still rating about 6 lengths from the lead. Tippity Witch has asked for a bit more, trying to move through an opening toward the inside. Then Kiwi, Lady Dora, DeR, and Starlight Girl at the back. 10 lengths from front to back. The leader remains You'll Be Happy, whose half was 48 3/5 seconds. Now a Firm Lane trying to get past her. Efficient Frontier 4 wide. 3 wide, Alluring. Just in behind the lead, Life's an E-Ticket, who's had a good trip so far. Kiwi is now drawn within striking range. Lady Dora on the move, but she's fanned 6 wide. Tippity Witch is bottled up toward the fence, but she's only 4 lengths for the lead, and now she's got room. But it's still You'll Be Happy. You'll Be Happy leads by 1.5 lengths. Lady Dora, like a shot on the far outside. And Tippity Witch comes charging through between horses, and here comes DeR, who's really flying. It's Lady Dora and DeR. Lady Dora the winner by a half length. DeR was second. Tippity Witch was third. Number 5, Lady Dora was first. Number 11, DeR was second. Number 2, Tippity Witch was third. And number 3, Life's an E-Ticket was fourth. Results not official.
In fact, he finished mid-pack on Captive Audience as Lady Dora ships up from the Mid-Atlantic Circuit and picks up a very good stakes win here at generous odds. DeR rallies into the second spot from way, way off the pace, going from last to second here late in the drive under Mike Smith in a big wide move with Tippity Witch, who moved up to engage fairly early. She was put into a drive a little bit on the early side. She did have some traffic troubles down on the inside for Robbie Davis. He did finally get her clear. By that point, he had been asking her to move for a little bit too long, perhaps, as she has to settle for the third spot as the lukewarm favorite in a wide open betting race. The winner, Lady Dora, is a 3-year-old bay filly. She was bred by Dan Dixon in Kentucky, another daughter of offspring of Lord at War. This one from Dora 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 by Runaway Groom, owned by F. Eugene Dixon, trained by Michael Matz. Those of you familiar with the horse show world are familiar with that duo. They've produced a number of jumping horses that have been very successful. Ridden to victory, Lady Dora, ridden to victory by John Velasquez, completes the 1 1/8 on the turf course in 1 minute 48 3/5 seconds. That wraps up the week's stakes racing action from around the country. Thank you everyone for joining me. Hope you can join me next weekend. Next week we'll have, of course, the Breeders' Cup Preview weekend from New York. A lot of great racing as well as big stakes racing action from around the country. Canada also has big racing this coming weekend. Has been announced that Fusaichi Pegasus will not contest the Jockey Club Gold Cup this coming weekend. However, Breeders' Cup Preview weekend at Belmont Park shall certainly go on with a lot of exciting stakes racing action. We hope you can join us next week here on Horses and Courses. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm Jean Wood. I'll see you back here next week.